Hey, everyone. So you're thinking about maybe Stevenson Ranch is your next home, especially with the holidays just around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Fun, right? Talk about festive housewarming party.
Definitely.
But, before you start packing those boxes,
Uh-huh.
we've got to talk about HOAs,
Oh, yeah.
Homeowners
Yeah,
Associations.
a ton.
Yeah, they're basically a given in Stevenson Ranch. And we're going to take a deep dive into what that really means for you as a potential homeowner or buyer.
Okay.
And we're going to use some insights from local expert Connor
Oh, yeah, Connor.
and his real estate update from December 17th, 2024.
All right, so Connor's update. It really got me thinking about New Year's resolutions. We always, put things off,
Yeah.
but sometimes the best time to start is right now. And I think that applies to understanding HOAs, too.
That's true. It's easy to get caught up in all the excitement of house hunting
Oh, totally.
and just kind of push those details aside.
We just want the house.
You want the house, especially in a market as hot as Santa Clarita is right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Connor's update mentioned almost 500 active listings
Wow.
with an average price around $916,000.
Yeah.
Things are moving fast.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But those numbers actually, I think, hint at something super crucial about HOAs
Okay.
and their impact on property values. You see that $916,000 average. It's likely being driven up by these newer developments that are popping up everywhere.
Makes sense.
And guess what? Newer developments tend to have higher HOA fees.
Hold on. I thought HOA fees were just for, keeping the community looking nice.
Right.
Why would newer developments have higher fees?
Well, so developers often front-load those shiny new amenities to attract buyers.
Yeah.
So think, resort-style pools,
Right.
state-of-the-art gyms, meticulously landscaped parks,
Uh-huh.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Those costs get built into the HOA fees.
Makes sense.
And since there are fewer homeowners in the beginning to share those costs,
Right.
the initial fees are often higher.
Okay. So it's not just about keeping things tidy.
Right.
It's about paying for those luxury perks.
Exactly.
Got it.
Hmm.
But back to Stevenson Ranch,
Mm-hmm.
Connor basically said it's an HOA kingdom.
It's true.
Every property seems to have one. Is that really the case?
It is very common in planned communities, like Stevenson Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it this way. You're buying into a very specific vision, a curated lifestyle.
Okay.
The HOA is there to maintain that vision
Right.
and ensure a certain level of consistency.
I got it. Okay, so I can see the appeal of, a well-maintained community.
Yeah.
But Connor mentioned HOA fees ranging from $50 to over $1,000 a month.
Yeah, a lot.
How can there be such a huge difference?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The range really reflects the diversity of HOAs and what they offer.
Okay.
So a basic HOA might just cover essential services.
It's like landscaping and common area maintenance.
Right.
Resulting in a lower fee.
Okay.
But those communities with the resort-style amenities that we just talked about,
Right.
those can push the fees way up to the higher end.
Wow, so it's not just about location.
Right.
It's about lifestyle.
It is.
You're essentially paying for access to certain amenities.
Exactly.
And a certain level of community management.
Yeah, you're buying a lifestyle.
I got it.
And don't forget about those hidden HOA costs that don't show up in the monthly fees.
Okay.
Connor's update had a great point about understanding those covenants, conditions, and restrictions.
Oh, yeah, the CC&Rs?
Or CC&Rs?
Yeah.
I've heard of those.
I've heard about those. But honestly, they kind of seem like a snooze fest.
I get it.
Yeah.
They're not exactly, light reading,
No.
but here's why they really matter.
Okay.
Imagine, you fall in love with a house. You're ready to sign on the dotted line.
Yeah. And then discover that the HOA has a restriction against, say, home businesses.
Oh.
Or maybe they have really strict rules about guest parking.
Uh-oh.
Which could be a nightmare during the holidays.
Okay, now you've got my attention.
Yeah.
Those are definitely things I would not want to find out
Right.
after I've moved in.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
CC&Rs can cover everything.
Wow.
From the color you can paint your house,
Wow.
the type of fencing you're allowed to install.
Really?
Some even have rules about holiday decorations, believe it or not.
Wait, seriously? They can, dictate what
Yeah.
my house looks like during the holidays.
They can, and that's why Connor's advice to really dig into those CC&Rs before making an offer is so crucial.
Oh.
It's not just about the monthly fee.
Right.
It's about understanding the rules of the game.
Got it.
and making sure they align with your lifestyle and your plans for the property.
Okay, so we've established HOAs are a big deal
Yeah.
in Stevenson Ranch.
For sure.
And those CC&Rs are something to really scrutinize.
Definitely.
But what about tax deductions?
Yeah.
Can you write off those HOA fees?
So Connor mentioned that.
Yeah.
And he's right. It's a tricky area.
Okay.
Tax deductions for HOA fees depend on a lot of factors, like whether the property is your primary residence or an investment property that you're renting out.
Okay.
It's always best to consult a tax professional to make sure you're following all the rules.
For sure.
And maximizing any potential deduction.
Yeah, don't want to mess with the IRS.
Especially not during the holidays.
Especially not during the holidays. Right? But back to those HOAs and what they actually do on a day-to-day basis.
So their main job is to enforce those CC&Rs that we just talked about.
Okay.
Think of them as the guardians of community harmony. They want to make sure everyone's playing by the rules, maintaining a certain standard.
Okay, so if my neighbor decides to paint their house bright orange and put up inflatable reindeer year-round,
oh no,
the HOA can step in.
They certainly can.
Really?
Connor used a great example in his update about a homeowner who painted their house black and orange.
Wow.
Very Halloween chic, but not exactly in line with the community aesthetic.
Yeah. No.
The HOA stepped in, and let's just say things got a little interesting.
Ooh, HOA drama.
I know, right?
Sounds like a reality TV show.
It really does.
Waiting to happen.
But beyond those colorful anecdotes, it's important to remember that HOAs have different approaches to enforcement.
Okay.
And that brings us to the two types that Connor described.
You mean corporate versus self-managed?
Yes.
Connor made it sound like corporate HOAs are like the strict rule enforcers, while self-managed HOAs are more, let's say, flexible.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Corporate HOAs tend to operate with a by-the-book mentality. You know, they have standardized procedures, professional management companies handling the details, and often less room for negotiation.
So if I wanted to put up a giant inflatable Santa,
a
corporate HOA might give me a hard time.
They might. They're really focused on consistency and upholding those CC&Rs to the letter.
Got it.
On the other hand, self-managed HOAs are run by the homeowners themselves, which can lead to a more personalized and sometimes more dramatic approach.
So with a self-managed HOA, it's more about who you know and how well you can negotiate those holiday decorations.
It can be. Self-managed HOAs offer the potential for more community involvement and flexibility in tailoring rules to specific needs, but they also rely heavily on the personalities and dynamics of the people involved.
So potentially less strict, but maybe more drama?
Possibly.
That's a tough trade-off.
It is.
But before we get too deep into HOA management styles, let's take a step back.
Sounds like a good plan. We've covered a lot of ground, and I think it's time to address the big question. Are HOAs really a necessary evil?
Or can they actually be, well?
Good question.
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Are HOAs just a financial burden?
Yeah.
And a source of endless rules? Or can they actually enhance your living experience?
I've always kind of leaned toward that, like, necessary evil camp, you know? All the fees and the restrictions, it all feels a little much.
Get it.
Yeah.
But what if we shift our perspective a bit? You know, imagine this. You move into your beautiful new home in Stevenson Ranch, and instead of seeing the HOA as like the enemy, you see it as a resource, a partner in creating a thriving community.
Okay, I'm trying to picture that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see past those monthly fees.
I know, I get it. But think about what those fees provide.
Okay.
You know, it's not just about landscaping and maintenance.
Yeah.
It's about fostering a sense of community.
Okay.
Many HOAs organize social events, holiday gatherings, even neighborhood watch programs.
I hadn't really thought about that side of it.
I guess a well-run HOA could actually bring people together.
Exactly. And those amenities we talked about earlier, the pools, the gyms, the parks, they become more than just perks. They become spaces where neighbors can connect. Kids can play, and a sense of belonging can flourish.
So instead of like dreading those HOA meetings, maybe I should see them as a chance to like get involved and actually shape the community.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
Instead of just complaining about the landscaping, imagine attending a meeting to propose a community garden or a neighborhood book club.
Okay. I'm starting to see the potential here. But what about those CC&Rs?
Yeah.
Aren't those just a recipe for like conflict and resentment?
They can be if they're not well-crafted or enforced fairly. But think of them as a framework for creating a harmonious living environment.
Okay.
Those rules about property appearance, noise levels,
right,
even pet restrictions, they're designed to ensure that everyone's rights and preferences are respected.
That's a good point. I guess I wouldn't want my neighbor blasting heavy metal music at 3 a.m. either.
Exactly. And those restrictions on home businesses, they might seem annoying at first. But they're also protecting property values by preventing, say, a noisy auto repair shop from setting up next door.
Okay. So maybe those CC&Rs aren't just about being picky.
Right.
They're about maintaining a certain quality of life for everyone.
Precisely. And that's why it's so important to review those documents carefully before buying a property.
Okay.
You need to make sure the HOA's vision aligns with your own.
Right.
And that you're comfortable with the rules of the game.
So it's all about finding the right fit.
It is.
An HOA that reflects your values and lifestyle.
Exactly. And remember, you have a voice. You can attend those HOA meetings.
Yeah.
Voice your concerns.
Right.
And even run for a position on the board if you're feeling ambitious.
Okay, maybe running for the board is a bit much.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of being an active participant rather than just a passive resident.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
And remember, Connor's update highlighted a really important point.
Okay.
HOA involvement can actually pay off financially.
Really? How so?
Well, a well-managed HOA can actually increase property values. Think about it.
Okay.
A community with well-maintained amenities, a strong sense of community, and proactive leadership is going to be more desirable to potential buyers.
That makes sense. So those HOA fees aren't just an expense, they're an investment in the long-term value of my property.
Exactly. And beyond the financial benefits, there's the intangible value of living in a community where people care.
Yeah.
Where neighbors look out for each other and where you feel a sense of belonging.
Okay, you've officially made me rethink my stance on HOAs.
Good.
I'm starting to see them in a whole new light.
That's what we aim for on the deep dive, to go beyond the surface and uncover those hidden layers of insight.
I like it. So for our listener who's on the fence about HOAs, especially in a community like Stevenson Ranch, where they're so prevalent, what's the key takeaway here?
Don't just write them off as unnecessary evil.
Okay.
Instead, approach them with an open mind. Do your research.
Yeah.
Consider the potential benefits they can offer.
And remember, you have a voice.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to get involved. Ask questions and advocate for what you want to see in your community.
Exactly. Now back to Connor's update. He had some great advice about navigating the Santa Clarita market, especially during this busy holiday season.
Yeah, he really emphasized the importance of being prepared, doing your research, and understanding the nuances of HOAs before making an offer.
He also suggested a great strategy for getting a feel for the HOA vibe.
Oh, yeah.
He recommended reaching out to current residents.
Okay.
Maybe even attending an HOA meeting or two before you buy.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I would love to get a sense of the community dynamics.
Yeah.
And see those CC&Rs in action, so to speak.
And who knows, you might even make some new friends in the process.
Okay, maybe I won't go that far.
Yeah.
But I definitely see the value in doing my due diligence on the HOA front.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
The more you understand about HOAs, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the home buying process.
For sure.
And find the perfect community for you.
So before you fall head over heels for that charming Victorian with the white picket fence, make sure you've done your homework on the HOA.
Yes.
They can make all the difference in your home buying experience.
Absolutely. And speaking of home buying experiences,
Yeah.
Connor's update had a great anecdote about some of his clients
Oh, yeah.
who initially swore off HOAs.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Well, they ended up changing their minds once they saw the benefits firsthand.
Really?
Yeah, they were looking for that, like, low-maintenance lifestyle.
Okay.
And were initially put off by the whole idea of HOA fees.
Yeah, makes sense.
But then they visited this community with a really active HOA, and they were blown away
Really?
by the beautifully maintained common areas, the resort-style amenities, and just the strong sense of community.
So they realized that they were essentially getting a lot of value for their money.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in concierge service taking care of all those like tedious tasks, like landscaping, pool maintenance, even security patrols.
Okay.
And then beyond those practical benefits, they discovered this real sense of belonging, this network of neighbors who looked out for each other and organized like fun community events.
I guess sometimes you have to see it to believe it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to Connor's philosophy. Of embracing those New Year's resolutions now rather than later.
Right.
If you're thinking about buying a home in Stevenson Ranch, don't wait until January to start exploring your options and understanding that HOA landscape.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Don't let those house hunting goals get lost in the holiday shuffle.
Exactly. And remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about HOAs, the better equipped you'll be to navigate that whole home buying process.
For sure.
And find that perfect community for you.
Speaking of knowledge, Connor is a wealth of information.
Oh, yeah.
On the Santa Clarita market.
Definitely.
Be sure to check out his updates for more local insights.
For sure.
And hey, maybe this deep dive has even inspired you.
Yeah.
To embrace a new HOA-related resolution.
Like attending an HOA meeting. You never know. You might discover a hidden talent for community leadership.
Okay, maybe not the board meeting just yet. But I definitely feel more empowered to approach HOAs with an open mind and see them as an opportunity to shape my living experience.
That's the spirit. And remember, the best communities are built by engaged residents. So
to our listener who's ready to conquer the Santa Clarita market, armed with their HOA knowledge and a positive attitude, we say good luck and happy house hunting.
And remember, don't just buy a house. Buy into a community.